Welcome Africanadites, welcome to Africanadio TV. This is a platform where we'll give tips on how Africans who want to move to Canada can do that without stress, and Africans who are already in Canada, Africans who are newcomers to Canada can explore this great country without stress. So if you are new to the channel, please consider to subscribe, consider to share and like the video so that more Africans who are interested in this topic can be able to see these videos. So let's head straight to the business of the day: how to move to Canada without spending so much money, how to move to Canada on a budget, how to move to Canada if you do not have loads and loads of money. This is one topic we get time and time again. William, I want to move to Canada, but I don't have a lot of money. So this is what we'll be talking about today. Number one way to move to Canada without having to spend loads and loads of money is do not patronize visa agents. I repeat, do not patronize visa agents. One advice I usually give to anybody who cares to listen, anybody who asks me of my advice, is do not patronize visa agents. The Canadian Immigration Agency, that's the IRCC, has made the portal so easy, have streamlined the process so easy that you can do it on your own. You can do it on your own if you're able to sit down, do your research, sit down, go through the process, and you can do it on your own. And if you cannot do it on your own, let's say you are not highly educated and you think it's complex, just consult immigration consultants. They will put you through. Do not hand money over to a visa agent. No carry money, go give one visa agent, say make he do visa for you. The visa agent will start telling you you have to pay 10,000 US dollars, 5,000 Canadian dollars, and blah blah blah, 3 million naira, 10 million, whatever it is. They give an exorbitant charge that is crazy. That each time I hear about those charges, I'm like, what are they doing with all the money? Do not patronize visa agents if you want to travel to Canada on a budget. The huge chunk of money people spend on traveling to Canada is not the money they pay legally to travel to Canada, is the money they pay to middlemen who almost do nothing for them in the name of visa agents. So if you take away the burden of visa agents, you will find that it is much easier to come to Canada. I usually sit down with people and help them with their applications, and by the time they are done, they realize that it is not as difficult and as complex as the thing that it is. So do not patronize visa agents if you are really truthful to yourself that you want to move to Canada on a budget. But then if you are not and you want to patronize visa agents, then go ahead, pay them. It is your money. But on this video, what we are talking about is how to move to Canada without spending so much money. Patronizing visa agent, number one, it is even against the IRCC guideline. IRCC usually will tell you not to patronize visa agents, not to patronize unrecognized and unregulated immigration practitioners. So at submitting of the form, IRCC will ask you, have you acknowledged that the whole form was filled by you and you are aware of whatever that is in the form, in the portal? So IRCC, the Canadian Visa Immigration Agency, want you to do it yourself, and they have done a lot of work in making sure that it is easy for you to do yourself. And let's take for instance, visa agent charge people as high as 3 million naira to get them a visitor's visa, and a visitor's visa only costs the legal cost. I mean, the cost you pay to IRCC is just about $180. That's with your biometrics and your visa submission fee. So why are you paying as huge as 3 million naira? Do your research, go through the Canadian immigration website, find out what document do you need, get those documents legally, make sure those documents are right, and these documents are not difficult to procure. Documents like your proof of fund, you just have to go to your bank and ask them for your account statement, and that is your proof of fund. So but when you are relying on visa agents, this thing starts looking like it is difficult to do. They are not difficult to do. What are the other documents? Ties to your home country. That's proof to your home, proof that you have, something that will bring you back to your home country when you travel. Those documents are not still very difficult to get. They are just things you have to fill up on. Are you married? Do you have kids? Are you schooling? Do you have landed property? If you have landed properties, you scan them. and then you add them to your application. So those are not documents you need to pay any agent for. The second way to move to Canada without having to spend so much money is to plan. Know when to travel. There are off-peak travel times and there are on-peak travel times. Off-peak travel times are usually the spring and the fall. Spring is March, April, and May. If you are traveling during the spring, if you are making your trip during the spring, it is usually cheaper. The flight tickets are usually cheaper. The hotels are usually cheaper because those are not times where people travel heavily. When you are traveling on the on-peak period, the Christmas period, the summers where everybody wants to do a vacation, then you'll be paying very much higher. So always plan your trip around off-peak periods. Another time to travel is fall, which is usually September and October. So either if you don't have a lot of money and you are planning to travel to Canada, move to Canada, visit Canada, the spring and the fall are the best times to plan your trip around them. Like I said, the spring is March, April, and May. The fall is September and October. So when you plan your trip around these two periods, it is usually cheaper. Your flight tickets are cheaper, your hotel stays are cheaper, and probably if you want to visit some tourist places, they are not overcrowded. You usually get things on discount. So the last thing you should look into if you are traveling on a budget is to go to the IRCC website and find an immigration route that is suitable for you. Do not use an immigration route because your friend used it. A lot of people asks me, how do I get a study permit? How do I get a study permit? And their intention is not to come and study, but because their friend came to Canada through study and they think it is the only route to come. There are over 12 pathways to move to Canada legally. Go to the IRCC website, or you can go to Africanadio page, the Africanadio website or Africanadio social media pages. I made a post a few days ago about 12 immigration pathways to Canada. You have several immigration pathways that are easier and cheaper. Find out which one is suitable for you and then go through those pathways patiently. Some takes longer time than the other, some take shorter time than the other, but go through those pathways, study them, know what their requirements are, and go through them patiently. If you do these three things, which is do it yourself, plan your trip around off-peak periods, and then research which pathway is good for you according to your budget, according to what you are coming to Canada to do, you will find out that you'll be able to travel to Canada legally without spending so much money. So find which pathway is easy for you, find which pathway is within your budget, find which pathway is convenient for you, and patiently wait through the requirements of the pathway. There is a link that shows each of those pathways, the time it will take for your visa to be granted. I'll put them below on the link, and then I'll put the official Canadian Immigration Agency website, the IRCC website, on the link. On a recap, do not patronize visa agents. They make travel unnecessarily expensive. They make travel seem like a very expensive thing and a very difficult thing. You can do those form application yourself. The worst of it all is get somebody. If you cannot, let's say they're too educated, you cannot do it yourself, go through the process yourself, get somebody to help you, ask questions. Africanadio community, we're always open to help, answer your questions. If you have any documents you are not clarified about how to go about it, ask us question on the comments below and we'll be able to answer. If there are things you need to pay for consultation, then we'll let you know, but do not use visa agents. They make your travel unnecessarily expensive. Until we come your way next time, this is still Africanadio. Please consider to subscribe, consider to share, comment, and ask questions. Una Joane Fuzo, we say in Igbo. Someone who asks a lot of questions usually do not get lost. So ask questions and we are open to answer. We are rooting for you. We are expecting to see you here. Have a wonderful time. From us to you, Africanadio TV.